Hello and welcome! Today, we are going to dive into a really powerful framework for personal transformation. This is a journey that can take you from just wishing your life was different to actually making it different. We're going to explore the key stages of building your will, taking courageous action, and eventually achieving real wisdom.
So let's just start with a question that, honestly, we've all asked ourselves at some point, right? What's the real difference? What separates just dreaming about a different life from actually living it? Why do some of our goals just kind of float around as fantasies while others become real? Well, this explainer is all about finding that answer.
The entire journey, every single step we're going to talk about, it all begins right here. It's about making a fundamental shift in your mindset, moving from a passive wish to a really active, powerful will. This is the launchpad for literally everything else.
And that brings us to this core concept of niyet, or what we'd call true intention. We say things like, oh, I intend to get in shape, or I intend to learn a new skill. But according to this framework, if that thought doesn't immediately cause you to do something, like actually put on your running shoes or sign up for a class, it's not a real intention, it's just a wish. A true intention is a decision that has physical momentum behind it. It makes you move.
So what gets us moving in the first place? Well, it usually starts with interest. Think of it like a little spark. It catches your eye, it's interesting, but it's also super fleeting. Then you might get to excitement, which is more like a flame. It's way stronger, it gets you going for a bit, but then you hit your first real obstacle and poof, the flame goes out. That's why the real magic is in the third engine, motivation. This is your deep, unshakable why. When you know why you're doing something, obstacles don't stop you. They just become part of the path.
The source also mentions this fourth, kind of wild card driver, ashk. It's this all-consuming, passionate love for something. And the thing is, it's totally unpredictable. You can't just decide to have it and nobody knows where it comes from. But when it hits, man, it can override everything else and focus all your energy in one direction like nothing you've ever seen.
Okay, so once you've got your intention and your motivation all lined up, you face your first real test. And that is the leap of courage. But you know what? It's probably not what you think it is. This right here is the absolute key. Courage is not about being fearless. It's not about waiting for the anxiety to go away. It's about looking at the risk, feeling that fear in your gut, and making a conscious decision to step forward anyway. It's an action, a choice, not a feeling.
And get this, there is actual neuroscience to back this up. Every single time you choose to act instead of hesitate because of fear, you are physically rewiring your brain. It's called synaptic plasticity. The neural pathways for action literally get stronger, and the ones for hesitation get weaker. You are, in a very real sense, building a courage muscle inside your own brain.
Now here's where it gets really cool. Taking that leap of courage, it doesn't just change what you do. It fundamentally changes what you can see. It literally unlocks new perceptual abilities, and it expands your reality.
The first gift you get from courage is cesaret, or insight. And all of a sudden, opportunities that were always there but were completely invisible to you before, they just start popping into focus. Your field of vision for what's actually possible just starts to open up.
Next, you start to develop cesaret, which is a deeper kind of perception. And this is so fascinating. The term comes from the idea of horse vision. You know how a horse's eyes are on the sides of its head? It gives them this massive field of view. Well, developing cesaret means you start to see that wider context. You see the hidden connections between things that most people, with their narrow forward-facing view, completely miss.
And finally, this new way of seeing leads you to herit, or a profound sense of wonder. This isn't just, oh, that's surprising. It's a real state of awe that just sparks your curiosity and makes you want to question everything. And the source makes this incredible point. A day that you live without a single moment of wonder is a day that you risk not even remembering. It's that sense of wonder that makes life stick in your memory.
So as you keep going on this journey, acting with courage, seeing the world with new eyes, you start to cultivate these higher states of being. This is the point where all that internal understanding really blossoms into true wisdom and a totally new way of engaging with the world.
And that brings us to hikmet, or wisdom. This is the point where your inner compass becomes your true north. You don't need to constantly ask for directions anymore. You don't need to seek approval from other people. You just know. You have the experience and the insight to know what's right for you and to make choices that are good not just for you, but for everyone around you.
And from that wisdom flows merhamet, or compassion. But listen, this is a really important redefinition. This is not pity. The root of the word actually means to give what is due.
True compassion means giving yourself the respect you are due, not taking on burdens that aren't yours. It means giving other people what they are due, without having crazy, unrealistic expectations of them. It's a kind of fundamental justice and respect for how things are.
Now, this whole beautiful journey, this amazing cycle of growth, it can be stopped dead in its tracks by one single, incredibly corrosive force.
And that force is şikayet, the act of complaint. It is the ultimate enemy of progress. It's not failure, it's not the obstacles you face, it's the simple, paralyzing habit of complaining about them.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It's so stark. Courage leads to action, complaint leads to paralysis. Courage fuels growth, complaint guarantees you stay stuck. Courage sees possibilities everywhere, while complaint just manufactures excuses. Here's the bottom line. Courage and complaint cannot exist in the same moment. You have to choose one or the other.
So how do you fight back? The advice from the source is incredibly direct and practical. If you catch yourself complaining, turn that complaint into a problem you can actually solve. If you realize you can't solve it, you have to let it go and move on. And maybe most importantly, you have to audit your social circle. You have to consciously choose to surround yourself with people who take action, not people who just complain.
Because here's one of the most powerful truths about being human. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's just how we're wired. If they are courageous and active, they will lift you up. If they are chronic complainers, they will absolutely pull you down. So choose those 5 people very, very carefully.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with a choice. This whole framework isn't just some abstract theory. It's a cycle that can begin for you right now. With your very next breath, you have an opportunity to take one small step. So what courageous action, no matter how tiny it seems, is waiting for you right now?